last week, the third Now You See Me film opened in theaters, so now it's time to rank all three Now You See Me films from the worst to the best. At number 3, we have Now You See Me 2. Now, just because I have this one in last place doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. This is a solid sequel with some genuinely fun ideas. It just doesn't have the same magic as the original. Now, Daniel Radcliffe is having the time of his life as the villain, and Lizzie Kaplan's character Lula is essentially the best addition to the cast. She brings this quirky, chaotic energy that the team really needed. The movie also has some clever sequences, particularly the extended card-passing scene where the horsemen are breaking into the vault. That entire bit is slick, stylish, and exactly the kind of over-the-top movie magic you want from this franchise. The problem is, though, it feels like more of the same. It doesn't escalate the scale or stakes in a meaningful way. It plays things safe and leans so hard into the magical realism style of illusions that it starts feeling less like sleight of hand and more like superpowers. It's good, it's fun, but it's familiar. You walk away entertained, but not blown away. A decent sequel, but the least memorable of the trilogy. Number 2, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It seems kind of odd that this is essentially a legacy sequel, since this franchise isn't really all that nostalgic. Yeah, it's been 10 years since the last one, but 10 years is not that much. It's not like people were as excited to see these characters return as they were, say, the original Star Wars cast return for The Force Awakens. And it's also bizarre that a lot of the generation gap humor comes from Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg is not that old. He's only 10 or 15 years older than the youngest member of the cast. It would have made more sense to have Woody Harrelson be the one to be condescending to the younger generation, and have him be the mentor. Now, this movie also has a different director. It's directed by the same guy that did the Uncharted movie a couple years back, so as a result, it does have a very different style than the previous two movies. Where the first two were Ocean's 11 type movies, this feels more like Uncharted, with more focus on puzzles than it does heist and illusion. It still works, but it's also jarringly different. That being said, the old and new cast do work well off each other, and while the film arguably isn't as witty as the first film, it has plenty of well-choreographed action to make up for it. There's one sequence in particular that's all filmed in one shot, or at least edited to appear that way. And considering there's 8 characters in the sequence, not counting the bad guys, it's impressively done. So while the style and tone are different and some of the dialogue feels assigned to the wrong character, it's still a fun entry in the franchise. In first place, we have the original Now You See Me, one of those movies that came out of nowhere and instantly stood out because of how confidently it blends genres. It's part heist movie, part mystery thriller, part magic show spectacle, and it manages to balance all those tones without ever feeling messy or confused. It knows exactly what kind of film it is, and stays stylish, clever, and entertaining all the way through. A big part of its success comes from the cast chemistry. Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, and Isla Fisher make up a surprisingly charismatic ensemble, each one bringing a distinct personality, ego, or attitude to the team. The Four Horsemen feel like a real group, with real tension and real synergy. Their banter is sharp, their timing is perfect, and even in quiet dialogues there's an energy that keeps the movie moving. Then you have Mark Ruffalo, who anchors the movie on the investigative side. He plays the frazzled, constantly outsmarted agent so well that watching him get outsmarted becomes half the fun. And the movie absolutely nails the illusion-based set pieces. Every major trick feels clever without being so impossible that you check out. Whether it's the opening apartment trick, the Vegas bank heist, or hypnotism bits, each movement is constructed like a puzzle box. Even when the movie leans into the fantastical side of magic, it frames everything in a way that makes you want to believe, even if you know you're watching movie magic instead of stage magic. What really elevates the film, though, is the pacing and structure. The movie knows exactly when to drop hints, when to misdirect, and when to reveal its hand. More importantly, the movie is just fun. It's slick, fast, stylish, and packed with personality. It feels like the kind of mid-budget studio thriller we don't get very often anymore. High concept but accessible, showy yet smart, playful but not silly. The rewatch value is extremely high because once you know the twists, you start noticing all the little breadcrumbs the script had in plain sight. This is easily the series' most cohesive and most confidently made entry. It's the movie where everything clicked. The concept, the cast, the style, the tone, and the twists. It set the template, set the standard, it remains the most clever and entertaining film in the trilogy, and it comes in at number 1. Go ahead and share your ranking of the Now You See Me films, and I'll see you next time.